Hey Disney, so this is how you make a movie that's based off of another piece of media. Artemis Fowl and Nutcracker in the Four Realms is not how you do it. Those are really bad. This is not. Welcome back to the Coalition Friends YouTube channel. My name is Garrett, and I make movie reviews because I like movies a lot. Too much, probably. In any case, today I'm bringing you a review for the one and only Ivan. This is a movie brought to you by Disney. It just came out on Disney Plus, and it is written by the wonderful Catherine Applegate, who I know as K.A. Applegate from the amazing Animorph series. Holy fuck, I love that book series so much. One day I'll talk about it, maybe, but just know that I know this author. She's a very good writer. The story written should have been very good. And it was. This is a very good movie. It has the emotional attachment to CG animals that The Lion King didn't have. Because The Lion King, live action, didn't know how to make the animals emote. They were just blankless things that had emotions in their voice, but their faces didn't. And that's the biggest problem I had with The Lion King 2019. With this movie, I cried once. Almost 3 times in total. It is emotionally heartfelt. The main characters at least, are wonderful. Sam Rockwell does great as Ivan. Really brings the A game in the voice acting department. Very well done. Mwah. The CG for Ivan, spectacular, which the CG for all of this film is just amazing, top-notch. Believable animals, even though they're talking like people do. They looked real, and that was wonderful to see. The pacing of this film is great. It's an hour and 35 minutes, and you never feel like anything takes too long. The third act climax comes pretty quickly in the third act. And this is what I love about this film. It gives emotional beats time to flesh out. Stuff happens at the middle of the movie, and for like a good 4 minutes, characters are grieving. And that's something you, like, in a kid's film, I wouldn't really assume you would get. Just kind of move on, don't let people think about death too much. And this film actually gives its characters time to grieve and give the somber music that goes along with it. And then the whole end of the film, like the last 15 minutes, the climax is already passed. This is just your solution to the film, and all 15 minutes is just perfect. That's when I cried, is the end of this film. I just got so emotional with it that it was just really good. More on the acting. Danny DeVito as Bob the dog, fantastic. Him and Sam Rockwell have great chemistry and their voice acting together. I don't know if they recorded in the same room, but it feels like they do with the back and forth that those two characters have. Brooklyn Prince, who we saw earlier this year in The Turning, she returns to film as Ruby, the young elephant, and she is just fantastic. Lots of great work from that young woman. Very, very fun. Very good. Issue, though, Phillipa Soo is the parrot, Thelma. But you can't tell that it's Phillipa Soo. And I feel like they voice modulated something, unless you can actually do a parrot voice, which, great, good on you, Phillipa Soo. But at that point, if you're just having a character for surrounding stuff, and she's not really part of the narrative, I would just erase her from the narrative. And that's what I would have to say with a lot of these extra characters. Like the bunny, the seal, the chicken, they're all just there for background. And so there's a little crew, but they're never really given their moment. They're never really given any good jokes. I didn't think they were funny at all. And they just were filler for me. And I can't tell if I'm supposed to like Bryan Cranston's character. I know he cares for the animals, but there's just a scene where he's working with Ruby, and it's just so tense and so gross and disgusting that I'm worried he's just gonna hit the elephant, and I didn't like him in that scene. And then he does stuff later on that's very questionable, and he doesn't get in trouble for it. So it's just like, I can't tell if I'm supposed to like you. I understand what you're going through. At some point, be a good person, because what you're not doing is being a good person. Couple other issues I had, very minor. When the animals are performing in their circus acts, people are using flashes on their cameras. I would believe that you are required not to have flashes because, I mean, it's a baby little elephant, but she could sure fucking trample a human being if she wanted to. Don't use your fucking flash. That's a problem I had. I'm not sure if that's real or not, but, you know, it's a movie. I gotta question it. I didn't like it. Another issue I had is that the lighting, the natural lighting that you see coming through windows and stuff in this film, very background stuff, just seemed really unnatural and added in CG-wise. I'm not sure if that's true. It just seemed very fake. Like it was a built-in set in the studio. It just seemed like that. Like you have lights outside the windows and stuff. The cinematography is fantastic. Some of the scenes that happen with the CGI and how the camera is positioned, I loved. Very good. The script is written really well. At some point you think it's going to go one way, but it doesn't go that way, thankfully. And I like what the movie does instead. So in the end, I really liked The One and Only Ivan. I think it's a perfect movie to come out right now. It's very heartwarming, very silly. Young kids will have a good time. Adults will respect the story given. The end shows you real footage about Ivan that this movie is based off of. I think that was very effective. There's some very effective, really sad scenes in this film, and stuff that's like lighter toned, but it's still sad to me to see these characters, you know, going through what they're going through. And it worked. For me, this movie is an 8 out of 10. I really don't know what I would fix in it, really. Just maybe get rid of some of the minor characters, or at least have them do more, have there be a point to them actually being in this film. But it's very enjoyable, and I liked it. So if you've seen The One and Only Island, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye! At one point, I thought this movie was an advertisement for Animal Kingdom. And this is the very end. But turns out it was Atlanta. So I'm just like, what? This looks too much like Animal Kingdom. Like, I thought the camera was just gonna zoom back when it was, and you just see, like, Everest in the background as high as it is. That would have made me laugh so hard. Because it is Disney, so I thought this was going to be, like, you know, tying in to real life stuff that Animal Kingdom has done. Wasn't, but that's fine. Also, sorry if you've heard any of the frogs barking in the background. Nothing I could do, just the time. I really just needed to film this review.